We're back, baby. It's the charity stripe. Hit your free throws because they are free. Joshua Fisher, Alexander Tossman, Rock Desopoulos, and DJ Nikki Snacks Kreider. Best to Bleav right here on Stadium. We have the Coach JB Show with Sarah Blake as his co-host and special guest, OU's Roy Williams. Enjoy the clip.
NIL deals and making money. It's probably something we all wanted growing up and our age, right? And once we signed a big scholarship, if Roy Williams signs at Oklahoma, how great would it have been, like you just mentioned, to get this NIL deal? But my question to you is, has it now gone too far where there is no coming back from it and there's like a hierarchy lost within player and coach? And I think the kid now believes before he even learns how to drive, we're giving these kids the car keys. I say it all the time. Has it become so bad now where if you can't handle a coach yelling at you or you can't handle being a backup because you're just not ready to go on the field, you're now entering the portal, you're transferring, you already got an NIL money, which is not tied up to the school at all, so you can leave like the LSU quarterback just did. And, like, do you think it's gone too far, or are you like, kids deserved it this whole time? Or are you mad like me, like, that we didn't get it?
All of the above. No, seriously, all of the above. Because it's like, just being honest, because it's like, man, I wish I had an opportunity, right? But at the same time, it's like,
we're not haters, right?
I'm not going to hate. I'm all good. I mean, our work and our contribution to the game, we helped open up this avenue for the current players. That's just like players from the 60s and 70s. Now in the 80s and 90s, everybody got more. Everybody's getting more. I got more than the guys that came before me, and then the guys that came after me, they're getting bags. So I mean, I'm not mad. I'm happy for them.
Right.
But the NIL deals, I mean, I don't know how they're going to be able to prevent it from happening.
We talk about it all the time. NIL is just a wild, wild west. And I think what'll eventually stop the ball from rolling down the hill and the tidal wave, there's going to be a player. We saw it, Miles Brennan, who got all this NIL money, then didn't step on the field or retired. He had stepped on the field previously, but then retired from LSU, from football in general. There's going to be
grabbed the bag and ran.
Yeah, there's going to be guys that grab the bag and run and that don't perform up to snuff, and people are going to invest less and less money. But the companies have so much money to throw around, especially the bigger ones. Like, you think Dr. Pepper, who threw probably DJ Wangalele a bunch of money last year, and he was such a disappointment, is sitting there crying or whatever? No.
You're getting so good at saying his name.
I'm just getting so fired at saying his name.
It's, to a certain extent, it's pretty similar to Live, to the golf tour. It's how much money can you throw at these guys? And if it's an endless amount of money, then money talks.
It is an endless amount of money. How much money do you think Dr. Pepper has? Trick question. It's the limit does not exist.
Nice.
I almost went with my own quote and said unfathomable, but then I went with
"The limit does not exist" is a quote from the movie Mean Girls, directed by Tina Fey.
That I've never seen.
Oh, I knew someone had
Josh,
never seen it.
Do you remember Caddy Heron?
Yeah.
When she says the limit does not exist, do you remember the name of the girl who she is competing against in the mathlon?
No way. Gun to my head, brains on the floor. No
Check
chance.
me on this.
Song.
Carolyn Kraft, I think, is the name of the girl.
All right.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
All these guys like Miles Brennan or these guys who are starting quarterbacks or starting running backs or high-profile players in college football, they're going to get their NIL money no matter what.
Sure.
The thing is, guys taking advantage of the situation like Miles Brennan are ruining it for the players that don't have the bigger opportunities.
Yes, that's true.
They're going to spoil this opportunity for maybe the third receiver on the team, maybe the offensive lineman, maybe the guys who
that is a good point.
Get a crack on it.
I mean, of course. I mean, that's a great point that I wasn't even thinking about, Nick. It really is interesting to see what'll happen to the guys who weren't always guaranteed to get the NIL money. But yeah, I think there's going to be clauses based on performance. We've talked about that before. College football, though, right around the corner. Some playoff predictions. Blake Ruffino, Are You Serious Sports? Jason Campbell, you already shouted him out in the show.
Double whammy.
Bleav in Auburn. Andrew Gershon, and then Vinny Hardy, Bleav in Kentucky. They've all given, we can see right here somewhere, their college football playoff predictions. Everyone's got Bama, Clemson, Ohio State in there. Blake has Georgia. Jason has USC, Andrew has Utah, and then Vinny has Oregon. Numbers. Got you. I think gut check, Blake's is the right answer. But I want to throw this out there. I think for the first time ever in college football playoff history, we're going to see a 2-loss program get in. And I think it's going to be Georgia. Because mark your calendars. I'm going Southern on this. Mark your calendars. November 12th, 2022. It's going to be a Mississippi mudslide. Ole Miss is going to beat Alabama. Mississippi State is going to beat Georgia. Same day.
Are you a Southern lady or?
Yeah, you were talking about your calendars. He was Marie Callender. That's who he was right there. The nice chicken pan pie. Marie Callender is the best.
It's okay, boys. I just baked you some cookies and milk.
So it's interesting.
That was different.
Three of those hosts.
That was me.
Have Pac-12 teams in their Final Four.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that. Normally we see the Pac-12 really cannibalize itself where it just tears each other apart.
Yeah.
Right? And there's usually one really good team that suffers a couple of bad losses.
Mm-hmm.
This time, though, I think that it's pretty top-heavy with Utah, Oregon, and USC. And I think UCLA is good, too.
I think they're a very underrated team.
That it stays really competitive and no one lets their guard down because they know that if they suffer a loss, then they're done.
So one team just iron sharpens iron, and one team comes out of it really looking like a true contender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like Jason Campbell's pick with USC. I think
yeah.
Lincoln Riley finally, puts it together. I know it's his first year at that program, but he brought his quarterback. He brought a wide receiver. They
brought another wide receiver in. Yeah.
I mean, that team is looking really good. And the Natty's being played in Los Angeles at SoFi, the stadium, if that's not added motivation.
Yeah, it's a really, really great point. I think it's going to be a really good college. I think we're going to see a 2-loss team in there. That's why I said Blake, but I think the USC of all the Pac-12 teams, we'll see how Utah opens up against Florida, and they end up playing each other. The Ducks versus the Utes. Really quickly, Amon Green, Gamers Lounge, talking WWE. Check it out.
Couple more wrestling questions.
Yep.
All right, fire away.
So, in your opinion, who is the greatest wrestler of all time? We'll start with that one.
Oh,
Who's
that's
the
a
GOAT?
big question. I like it.
That's
Coming off the top rope. He coming off
Because
the top rope. There you
I'll
go.
throw out some candidates.
Okay.
Well, Hulk Hogan,
Mhm.
obviously. I would think you have to start with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, he's
I'll
the
put
guy.
The Rock out there, even though I know like his post career is obviously stellar.
Yeah.
Do you put out old school guys like Andre the Giant? Is he even considered an all time GOAT? Who is the GOAT? Is it Hulk Hogan? Am I trying too hard for this?
For me, and I mean, I love this question because you ask 100 different people, you're going to get 100 different answers. And part of this is nostalgia for me. I'm a huge fan of Shawn Michaels, of the
Ooh.
Heartbreak Kid.
I remember, that's my time right there.
And,
Yeah.
and I just, for me, his storytelling in the ring, his athleticism, between the ropes, he's phenomenal. But he's also, in my opinion, just a great storyteller.
I mean, I was stoked. You guys know my favorite wrestler of all time is Shawn Michaels. I'm a huge HBK fan.
The Heartbreak Kid.
But I don't know.
What about Rikishi?
Rikishi, I know you're a big stink face guy. To me, Shawn Michaels is everything that was said: the storyteller, the entertainer, the performer, the skill set.
That was promised.
Yeah, he was unbelievable.
Zora High.
The Zora High. I do think, unbiasedly, from like not my eyeballs, the greatest wrestler of all time. Love Hogan, love Stone Cold, Cena, Ric Flair. I think CM Punk's very talented. And if he didn't leave the WWE, he would have not that blemish on him. I think it is The Undertaker because of everything he's brought to the WWE.
I thought you were going to say
like it.
that it's Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is the GOAT of wrestling, and Chaz Michaels is figure skating.
And we are the Charity Stripe. We'll be back in just a hot second. Don't go anywhere. Best to Bleav right here on Stadium. We're back, baby. It's the Charity Stripe. Pitch your free throws because they all free. Joshua Fisher, Alexander Tossman, the Octosopoulos, DJ Nikki Snacks Kreider. That was the Best of Bleav right here on Stadium. Go to Bleav.com. What kind of podcast do you want? We have that at Bleav. Follow us Twitter, Instagram, Bleav Network, YouTube, Bleav Network. Follow us, the Charity Stripe, the.charity.stripe on the gram or on Twitter @_Charity Stripe _ I'm still stoked that someone said Shawn Michaels was the GOAT of wrestling. Y'all know he's my favorite. I think that was my biggest takeaway. One thing we were dancing around, college football playoff. We didn't mention a certain program in the Big 12. I'm not saying they're going to do it, but when there's a will, there's a way. And there is a chance, and if they do it, I will cry. And I would sacrifice the last 10 years of my life for the Longhorns to make it to the college football playoff, not even win the thing. That's how badly and sad we've been over here.
I actually had a shower thought I wanted to run by you guys.
Go for it.
It's a business idea. It's like Chipotle, but for protein powder, like after you work out, and it's called Have It Your Way. And you go down and you like get to pick like vanilla or chocolate or like cookies and cream or like different. And maybe like we could pair and partner with athletes for their particular flavor that they like. So just throwing that out there. Have it your way.
It's
Way.
It's like connected to the gym.
Yeah,
The
I
James,
love
yeah.
that. The connected to the James. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
At the James, have it your way. We're the charity stripe fans out there. Drag both feet inbounds, swing on a full count, rub that puck, hit that putt, hit your PKs because they free and hit your free throws. Why, guys?
Because they're free.
Because they are free. We outshow. We love you. Best of Bleav right here on Stadium. See you next week.